What up, gang? Lane Carolina Jackpot time coming at you. It's Tuesday morning. It's a rainy Tuesday morning. A lot going on, however, a lot of traffic out here, a lot of hustle and bustle. People getting ready for Turkey Day. Hope each and every one of you has a great one. Hey, listen, before we get started, if you're new around here, consider staying true around here. Smash the thumbs up button on this video if you don't mind. That helps Carolina Jackpot out a lot. Taking me down the road of YouTube algorithm windingness that I've never been ever before in my life. Also, subscribe to this channel if you're not already. College football content here all the time, plus some various other videos I think you may find entertaining and or informative. If I didn't tell you already, I've changed jobs. Started driving a little short yellow bus around, hauling some Clemson students from place to place. I'm just kidding. This is actually a rental truck, moving truck actually, that I'm having to work my potato chips out of since mine's in the shop. Juice Wells, Antoine Wells Jr., Gamecocks wide receiver number 3, who has played very little this year due to turf toe, then a broken foot, and then just out all year long. Coach Shane Beamer kept telling us week after week after week that he's getting better, he's getting ready. We'll see how he feels next week. Okay, well, we got to go see the doctor. Well, we're going to see how he feels next week. We'll see how he feels next week. Well, this week, actually, at Sunday night's call, Coach Shane Beamer on the radio said that he was confident he was going to be able to actually play in the game Saturday against the Tigers. I don't know if they actually said confident. Thought he felt like he was hopeful that he would be able to actually play in that game. So kind of strange last night over on Twitter, and I forgot to splice that in here. Maybe I'll do that right now. So Juice Wells posts up on Twitter to clear the air. No, he is not playing. And he's not getting ready for the NFL Combine. And he'll be back next year. Okay, that all sounds good. Unless you look at it a little bit deeper. All we've been hearing all year long was how bad he wants to get back on the field and play. Nobody wants to get out there worse than he does, what Coach Shane Beamer said. No one wants to get out like Juice does. Nobody wants to get out there more than him. However, there was also some rumors floating around that he was out partying and shit. So, I mean, you're not playing, so, I mean, you can't play. I mean, you can't be expected, I guess, to sit around and do nothing with your life, I suppose. But it's kind of also weird that when Marshawn Lloyd last year was injured during the Florida game, supposedly told that he and Christian Beal Smith, another Gamecock running back who graduated after, well, he was a graduate student anyway last year. He's not there anymore. We're pounding back some beers and 5 points. Marshawn Lloyd ends up transferring to the West Coast USC, who had an extremely disappointing 7-5 season. So that makes me kind of wonder, yeah, you're going to be playing next year, but who are you going to be playing for? And that one I hope is South Carolina as well, but I've heard some rumors as well, and I'm not going to say where they've come from, and I'm not going to, I can't speculate on how true or how valid the rumors are, that he may have been or either has been offered a bag to go down there and play at Texas for Coach Drinks a Lot and play with Arch Manning. Interesting stuff. That he wants to play really bad, and apparently when he's been cleared by the doctors to play, he's not going to play against Clemson. Now, it could be also that he knows that it's in the game plan for Xavier Leggett to get a lot of targets, to play an integral role in this offense Saturday night against Clemson. And maybe he wants Xavier to be able to go out on top. That could be. Although, it seems like it would be in the best interest of the team as far as winning a ball game if he were playing as well, giving Clemson another weapon to prepare for. Because, let's face it, the Clemson defense is one of the better units that you're going to play this year, if not the best. So it's definitely not going to hurt to have a multitude of good wide receivers out there playing. So, anybody can guess on that one. I don't know yet, and I guess we'll find out in the next coming weeks. Transfer portal opens up. Does it open up as soon as the season's over, or as soon as the conference championship games are over? Maybe. I think it's maybe after the conference championship games are over next week. Which, newsflash, the Gamecocks aren't participating in that this year. This game Saturday night, how do I feel about it? Still feel confident in South Carolina's chances in this game. I like our chances in this game. I think Spencer Rattler's going to have a huge night. The thing is, defensively, that 17-14 win over Kentucky has still not got Carolina Jackpot convinced that South Carolina can stop A, the run, and B, that they have a formidable pass rush, and C, that they're going to be able to defend the pass. I'm just not sold on it. And why? And not that Kentucky's a terrible team. They're not a terrible team. They're an average team. But they're a team that kind of, if they can't get out in front of you early, they are going to wet fart a game up. They're going to muddy and wet fart a game up. Which is exactly what they did. And when you muddy and wet fart a game up, you just don't, you're not, it's like you're not trying to, nor do you see a lot of explosive plays from either side. So when you're involved in one of those type games, that still does not convince me that you're where you need to be. And newsflash, I think that even though Clemson has two really good, I'm going to say really good, they're pretty good. They have two pretty good running backs in Phil Maffa and Will Shipley. They're not great, and they're not very good. I'm not going to put them in that category. They fumble too damn much. Tater fan, y'all can type about it and tell me how wrong I am, and I'm right. But I think Cade Klubnik's going to take some shots. He may take some deep shots. We may see him do some stuff he hasn't done this year, just because I feel like they think, that South Carolina's going to do nothing but sell out to stop the run, and they'll leave themselves wide open for some shots. I had some people on the comment section, had some people in other various places that I've looked talking about the Kentucky game that said, Kentucky had wide receivers running wide open behind our defense, which Devin Leary couldn't complete the passes. I don't know. I really didn't see any of that. I don't know if they were or they weren't, but that happens a lot in a lot of games. Bottom line is he couldn't complete them, so it's kind of a moot point. I know you're going to run up against a quarterback eventually who will complete them. There's Cade Klubnik, that guy. I'm not so sure. I think he's more dangerous with his feet, unless you're Miami in double overtime, and then he's not dangerous with his feet at all. In fact, it looks like he's running backwards. A lot to unpack. It's a lot to unpack. And once again, it's one of those games where, and so many times as these two teams have met, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what you're going to get. Clemson's a 7-point favorite. I thought it would open at more than that. Just simply on the fact that, they've covered the spread. Now, this is 3 games in a row they've won. 3 games in a row they've covered the spread. So I thought that the number would be set a little bit higher than that 7. and I expect it to be bet up a little higher than that 7. But as of right now, it hasn't moved off that 7. Although more of the public money, about 65% of it, has come in from the hillbilly mouth breathers, the shit stain on the underwear of the state of South Carolina. That is the Clemson Tigers. Oh my God. Words can't express how much I just disdain and just overall distaste and displeasure I have for this team and this fan base. I would be the happiest individual in the world if we knocked them off again on Saturday night. And then, you know, I'm getting a lot of this too in the comment section too. A lot of people, who cares if we go to a bowl game? I mean, even if we win, it's going to be a crappy bowl that nobody cares about. We're going to be playing somebody that nobody cares about, and half the people's going to sit out anyway. Dummy. Do you know anything about college football? You know anything about how it works right now? You know how many more extra practices you get because you're playing in a bowl game? Even if half of them do sit out, even if you go to the bowl game and lose it, you're still getting a ton of extra official practices for your players, especially when you have a team loaded up with young talent. You need those extra practices. You need every one of them that you can get. That's what bowl season is more about now, especially for the lower level games, than it is anything else. If you're Olympian and you're making a bowl and you're 6-6, then you need some more practice. That practice is not to help you in that bowl. That practice is out actually to help you next year, because the majority of the players who are playing in that bowl game are probably not going to be around next year. The ones who are playing in the bowl game are the ones you're going to have back next year. I.e., look at South Carolina's game against Notre Dame in the bowl game last year, right? That most of those players there are the ones that we're going to return in 2023, which is why Carolina Jackpot in the offseason was somewhat optimistic that this team would be able to make some noise. I mean, you know, hung with a Notre Dame team that also was missing some players, but wasn't missing near as many as what South Carolina was, and quite frankly should have won that game. Just kind of faltered and gave it away in the fourth quarter. However, that's all in the past. Saturday night is in the windshield, and that's what we need to be focused on. No juice, so it'll be the same set of guys having to step up. I want to see more of Mario Anderson Jr. being able to pound the rock a little bit more effectively than what he did against Kentucky. However, I'm not sold on the fact that we're going to see that, because of course Clemson's front four is solid as well. It's going to be an uphill battle, guys. It's going to be tough, but I think they can do it, especially with the benefit of, I was watching a video again last night. You know, everybody's taking this this Michigan Connor Stallions cheating scandal thing. There are a lot of YouTubers who are getting some really good views and probably making some pretty decent chump change off of this story right now. And it's mega content. It's a content gold mine for a lot of people. I haven't done a lot of videos on that. Really, haven't gotten myself especially educated on the subject, but I will tell you, we've still got people out there making YouTube videos talking about South Carolina's possible involvement with the Connor Stallions thing. They may have, or that Michigan may have gotten some signals to teams that could potentially knock Michigan playoff opponents out of the playoffs. One of them being Tennessee. And you know what? I'll go ahead and say it for the first time I've said this. You know, I could conceivably see how South Carolina, I could conceivably see how the signals could have helped them, and how you may think that did help them against Tennessee. I really could. South Carolina blew them out from start to finish. It was never really in doubt, and it was totally out of character. I get that. But they're also saying, well, you think you gave them signals, Clemson signals too. Okay, South Carolina was down 14-0 to Clemson. They threw a pick six. They also threw an interception on the goal line. We had to benefit from 2 fumbles, or actually 1 fumble that we benefited from, which gave us the ball back when we were up 31-30, when Clemson potentially could have driven down and kicked the game-winning field goal and or possibly scored a touchdown to end up winning the game by an even larger margin. We had to rely on that. Clemson also fumbled the ball when it was kicked off to them after they got a safety against the Gamecocks when they went up 16-7 with a dumb special teams play that I don't know who designed it, but they may possibly consider not designing any more plays because they're not very good at it. None of that screams stolen signals to me. I'm sorry, and I mean, if you think that after watching that game, you'll just, I just think you just flat out don't know what you're talking about. But there's a lot of people out there still talking about that. But anyway, that, like I say, is in the rearview mirror at this time. We'll see if it pops up in the windshield again and we have to deal with it down the road. If we do, we will. Anyway, I'll see you guys later on. I appreciate it. Peace. I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks and go Coach Beamer. Woo!